I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime, and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning.
I don't know how any of you guys are going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new. Between the fucking news and the fucking stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country's fucked. Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are fucking getting ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I'm finally done.
I'm turning 40 this year, and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. I haven't even tried. Like, I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything, and I don't know how to. I did this whole growing thing wrong. Like I'm supposed to be an adult. I'm supposed to be able to handle these things, and I can't handle anything. I literally am just realizing, like, it's been 40 years of this, and like, it's 40 years of just being confused and not knowing, and like figuring things out slower, and like I haven't built anything. I haven't nothing like to show for this time. I just don't know what I'm doing here, and I'm lost. I'm afraid, and I don't. Dude. I gotta give up. I have worked so hard, literally. I went to school for 10 years for a higher education that doesn't do me any good. I've been working 2 jobs in restaurants for 2 years, 50 hours a week for nothing. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, I'm getting evicted next week after my son almost died in the end of March with diabetes, and now he has type 1 diabetes. And dealing with that, and then my grandma had a stroke 10 days after that. And now I'm behind on my $2,500 a month rent that I can't work enough to catch up.
There's a YT man on this app asking for the assistance, asking for the help, asking for the labor, the support of Black men to come out and help, and he recognizes that it's unfair for him to even ask this of Black men because of what they have endured, what Black people as a whole have endured in this country. And I am going to nicely say this. I'm going to say this as nicely as I possibly can. And that's a hell no. How dare you, as a heterosexual YT man, ask for the help of a Black man, of the Black community, period, when the powers that be that hold the the power in this country are men that look like you. It is time for other people of color to come out and put their bodies and their lives on the front line to save this country from what is going on, because it is rotting. It is being destroyed from within, from men that look like him. It is time that y'all open your mouths and use your privilege to combat what is going on in this country, because it's devastating to all of us.
Hello guys, and welcome to the Joy Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. White people in America are now crying out loud about how expensive life has become. From groceries to rent to basic utilities, the cost of living has shot up so high that many of them are feeling the kind of financial pain they never thought they'd experience. But here's the twist. Many of them used to think poverty was something that only happened to black people. They used to see struggle as a distant reality, something that was meant for them. And now they're realizing the hard way that poverty doesn't care about skin color, privilege, or who you voted for. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let me roll a few more clips and I'll come back with more commentary.
Listen, check this out, all right? I will give my money to homeless people. If I see a homeless person out on the street, I would give them what I can, all right? I believe in karma. You know, do you look less fortunate? I can do what I can do. Now, it gets tricky when it's a white homeless person. Like, you're white and homeless? This is no way. You're white and homeless. This is running concurrently right here. Like, you're white and homeless. How? You had a 400-year head start here. You should be up. You should be up. There's no way. You must have really said fuck life. You had to really just say fuck it. I ain't doing shit. There's no way, bro. See, black and homeless is different. You know, it's a lot of shit he probably went through. You know what I mean? He might have fell through drugs, you know, schooling, you know, anything. He might have went to jail. It's hard for him to get a job. White people, all y'all gotta do is go on Indeed, get yourself a suit and tie, fill out an application, and you'll be an astronaut tomorrow. They're giving y'all a call back. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't give my money to white homeless people, because I know y'all gonna come. I'm just saying, I got questions. Like, how did this even happen? Like,
historically speaking, white people have always been adverse to manual labor. They have always found some way to source out their labor, whether it be tilling the lands, farming their food, mining the mines, you know, the railroads. Now, in the age of manufacturing, it's all of their products, right? And the Chinese have been able to take advantage of this aversion. They've built their whole economy around it, in fact. It's actually funny because it's like a two-step mental process, because in white people's like justification that they aren't made for manual labor, they've created a whole economy around servicing where they don't have to do manual labor, and then convince the entire world that people who do manual labor are less valuable. By service providing, I mean all the like computer, hello, how are you doing type shit, right? The email drafting and basically the corporate bourgeoisie world, right? And that's really just the slave versus the overseer mindset, right? Someone does all the work and then you have someone manage the workers. That's basically what white supremacy is. Racism has always just been their justification for not wanting to be laborers. And the job market, the corporate world, the college educated, all of that is used to justify their aversion to labor. So here we are 159 years later, which is when slavery ended. We've established an entire economy around managing laborers. We source everything in America because of white people's aversion to labor, and then we slap logos on it, slap all this mental cognitive, everything that white people have created is jumping mental loops to justify the fact that they do not labor at all. There's no difference in these products. They're all made in China, right? The only difference is they create this sense of branding and comfort around imaging and all of these things to get you to have the mental cognitive to buy the branding, because the products are all the same, because they're all made at the same factory. Everything about white supremacy is just jumping through mental loops to make you forget the fact that they do not make anything, that they are not laborers, that they refuse to do work, right? So that we will continue to spend money and work for them. The economy in America thrives off of all of this mental manipulation, because the truth of the matter is we do not make anything. We just manage everything. We manage our image. We manage the propaganda about who we are to the rest of the world, about what it is that white people actually do for jobs in America. It's all mental manipulation. We're a country of narcissists. Yikes.
For years, poverty in America was painted as a black issue. The media played its role, showing images of struggling black families while ignoring the structural issues that caused economic hardship across the board. White America bought into that narrative, thinking financial instability was something that happened over there. But now, the economy has turned on them. Inflation has eaten away at their paychecks, wages have stayed stagnant, rent has doubled in many cities, and healthcare is a nightmare. Suddenly, many white families are facing eviction notices, standing in food bank lines, and begging for government aid. And the irony is, when black people spoke up about these issues, they were ignored. When black communities cried out about joblessness, redlining, and systemic poverty, the response for many white Americans was dismissive. They believed if black people just worked harder or pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, things would be different. But now the shoe is on the other foot, and the bootstraps have snapped. White Americans are realizing that no amount of hard work can outpace a system designed to keep wages low and costs high. What makes this moment even more bitter is that many of the politicians who sold the dream of a better life were the same ones who dismantled the very programs that could have helped working class families survive. They preached about cutting social safety nets, reducing government aid, and personal responsibility. And while those talking points were used as weapons against black communities, now those same policies are haunting white families too. Because when food stamps are cut, when housing assistance is gutted, when healthcare is treated like a luxury instead of a right, everybody suffers. And yet, here's where the FAFO element really kicks in. Many of the same white voters supported leaders who pushed those policies. They voted for politicians who promised to slash welfare, not realizing that welfare wasn't just for black people. They supported leaders who attacked unions, not realizing unions were the only thing protecting their wages. They stood behind tax cuts for the wealthy, not realizing that money was coming out of their own pockets in the form of higher costs and fewer services. Now, as the bills pile up and the stress sets in, the regret is written all over their faces. Many are crying on social media. It's a harsh reality check. Poverty just doesn't look like the stereotypes people once clung to. Poverty now looks like the white suburban moms cutting coupons and still coming up short at the grocery store. Poverty looks like white dads working 2 jobs and still being behind on rent. Poverty looks like young white graduates drowning in student debt while living in their parents' basements. Poverty looks like whole communities, once proud of being middle class, now collapsing under the weight of economic reality.
I won't be able to afford rent. I'm not a rich person. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have basic household necessities, a couch, a bed, washer, and dryer. That's about it. A car. I don't have a lot of lavish things. I don't go on vacations, and I don't spend a lot. Rent's increased from $1,300 to $1,800. The food prices are too high. I've cut back on eating because I literally cannot afford food. I've cut back on my favorite snacks, cat food, treats. I'm exhausted all the time from being overworked and underpaid. You don't catch a break when you grow up poor. I don't need much to be happy. I just want to be able to live comfortable. I just really need to catch a break right now. I'm trying so hard and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I don't have family. I don't have anything to fall back on.
And here's another layer of irony. When black people demanded change, they were often told they were complaining too much. But now, when white families face the same struggles, suddenly it's a national crisis. Suddenly, the media is covering it differently. Suddenly, politicians are being pressured to address it because it's not their problem anymore. It's affecting the majority population. That's the double standard that black communities have pointed out for decades. But let's be real. This is a moment of reckoning. White America is facing what Black America has known all along, that the system is rigged. It doesn't matter if you're hardworking. It doesn't matter if you went to school, got a degree, or follow the so-called American dream. If the system is designed to funnel wealth to the top 1%, everyone else will eventually struggle. Black people tried to warn them, but they didn't want to listen. They thought they were safe. They thought their skin color would shield them. Now, they found out the hard way. Poverty doesn't discriminate when the economy crashes. Some are finally waking up. Some are realizing that the fight against poverty and inequality was never a Black issue. It's a human issue, one that affects all working class people. But the question is, will they actually join the fight to fix it, or will they continue to separate themselves, pretending they're different, pretending they're above the struggle, while sinking deeper into the same hole? Because one thing is clear: until Americans come together to defend better wages, affordable housing, and real healthcare, the cost of living will keep crushing families, Black, white, and everyone in between. So now, here we are. White people are crying out about bills they can't pay, groceries they can't afford, and rent that's eating up their entire paychecks. They're angry, they're shocked, and they feel betrayed. But maybe they should ask themselves, where was this outrage when Black communities were saying the same thing for decades? Where was this urgency when others were suffering before them? For years, poverty was something they thought only lived across town, in communities they didn't care about. They ignored the warnings, supported policies that made things worse, and believed they were untouchable. Now the reality is on their doorstep. Poverty is in their homes, in their neighborhoods, and in their daily lives. And the biggest question is, what are they going to do about it? Are they finally going to see poverty as a system-wide problem that requires unity and real change? Or are they going to keep pointing fingers, pretending that somehow, some way, they'll escape while the system keeps failing everyone? Because if they don't wake up now, the suffering won't stop here. It will only get worse. And maybe then, they'll finally understand what Black America has been saying all along. Poverty isn't a color. It's a condition created by greed, and it can swallow anyone whole. So what do you all think? Do you think white America is finally waking up to the reality of poverty? Or will they keep pretending it's not their fight? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have a video explaining the current theory, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, the Joy Reports out.